Hello guys, welcome to an episode of Bedwars. Today we actually have some important stuff to talk about. Basically today I'm going to be talking about why I think Bedwars is dying, what I think Hypixel could do to revive it, and why I think ultimately why I think Hypixel isn't going to do anything about it. So to start off, disclaimer, I'm not but in this at all. I've watched a few videos from other people on this stuff, but I'm not an expert. Along with that, a lot of the solutions and stuff I propose aren't going to be like my original ideas. They're ideas that I've gleaned from other videos and like forum stuff. So yeah, just keep that in mind as you watch this. So starting off, why I think Bedwars is dying. I think there's three main reasons. Where are you going, buddy? Come here. Bye. I think there's three main reasons that Bedwars is dying. The first one is simply that the game's gotten way too sweaty. So, like, if you remember back to peak Bedwars during COVID, when there's, like, thousands of concurrent players, like, all the time, each game was a pretty good mix of, like, player skill level, right? You'd have, like, 3 or 4 new players, a few intermediate players, and maybe 1 or 2 sweats in each game, right? And in my opinion, I personally feel like the games were a lot more fun then. Like, they were unpredictable. You didn't know what was going to happen. You know, all the new players could band together to take out the new one, or the sweat. Like, I feel like the games were a lot more fun back then. Yeah. Also, because of this, there were so many new players. It made it so that new players were able to get into the game really easily because they weren't playing sweats all the time. So if you think about it, right? Like, this isn't the case anymore. Most games are like mostly 200 plus star players with like 3 alts and maybe 1 new player. And that new player is going to get taken out extremely quickly. So, yeah. Right now, you can't really, as a new player, you can't really improve. Like, imagine you're a newer Bedwars player, right? And you just made it past the 50-star mark, which is where you start getting put into the queues with everybody. So, you try to, like, play the same way that you were playing in the 50-star lobbies, like, you have to try, but you don't have to be good to win a few games here and there. And then you realize that's not the case anymore. Like, in these higher star lobbies, you have to be good to win. And yeah, I think that's the environment that new players find themselves in as soon as they get past that 50-star thing. And I think the swayness isn't just a problem for new players either. Like, even for me, like, Bedwars has gotten to the point where to win games and to, like, play competitively, I really have to try, right? Like, which is fine. Oh, I forgot I killed Pink. We're fine. That's great or something. Which, you know, is fine. Like, I'm okay with having to try. But that means I can't really play Bedwars, like, just for fun anymore. Like, again, remembering back in, like, COVID days. Like, I wasn't very good at all. But the games were chill enough that I could, you know, like, kind of just be bad, but still win a game here or there because everyone else was also still learning. But I don't think you can do that anymore. I think Bedwars has lost, like, the for fun factor, if that makes sense. The second reason that I think Bedwars is dying is, this is kind of a smaller reason, but hold on, Blue said something in chat. Yep. I need more blocks. Anyways, as I was saying, I think the second reason, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one because there's lots of videos about this, and I don't really have any solutions to the problem, really, is Bedwars has seen a pretty good increase in hackers over the last a few years or so. I know Hypixel said they fixed this with a name obfuscation, and like it kind of helped. Whoa, buddy. And like, yeah, it kind of helped, but I don't think it addressed the main issue. And like, don't get me wrong, Bedwars is still nowhere close to like what Skywars is. Like, Skywars is horrible, but it is getting there. Like, I'd say 1 every 5 games now has like a blatant cheater, and like probably, I would say there's probably a closet cheater in pretty much every game I play. It looks like we're bed trading. This is not the option I would like to take for this game, but that's what's happening. I don't think I have time to avoid. But yeah, there has been an increase in hackers. And I think it's hard for newer players then to differentiate when someone's just better than them and when there's a hacker. Like, I play with some of my friends and like my younger brother sometimes, and like they call people hackers all the time, and they're not really. They just happen to be better than them, and that's not fair to actually good players, and B, it's just not a good attitude to have whenever you get beat. Yeah, so that's the second reason, I think. The third reason I think Bedwars is dying is there's not anything to attract new players, really. Like, let's go back to the hypothetical new player that we were talking about earlier, right? And let's say this player, they really like Bedwars. Why are you being toxic? I didn't do anything, man. I mean, okay, that's fine. Hi, buddy. But anyways, back to the hypothetical new player, right? And this new player, they really like Bedwars, right? They want to get good at Bedwars. So they realize, you know, let's say this player, they have tons of time on their hands too. They actually would be able to reach Bedwars' incredibly high skill ceiling, which is another problem, but I'm not going to talk about that. Where does this guy go? Oh, hi, I found him. Oh, very nice. Good try, not really. You were kind of toxic, so I'm not going to say GG. Anyways, as I was saying, nothing to attract new players. The hypothetical new player, right? He realizes that he needs to start trying and learn some new skills to keep up with the Bedwars games. He has the time for this, and he could, right? He could become good at Bedwars. But now the question is, why would you choose Bedwars to get good at? Like, as I explained earlier, Bedwars isn't really a game you can play casually anymore. If you're playing Bedwars, then you're either playing it as a sweat or you're getting steamrolled. And this means you need to put, like, a huge amount of time into getting good at Bedwars. And, like, even if you have the time to do that, right? Which, granted, some players do. I would argue that there's a lot more entertaining and or inviting games to spend that time to grind in. Like, Bedwars doesn't have any international tournaments. It doesn't have new content frequently. Dang it. Bro, what bed defense are you making, my guy? Just gonna buy a knife to trap. Okay. Anyways, it doesn't have new seasons or new game mechanics. Still talking about Bedwars. But Bedwars has mostly become like a game of just grinding stats. Like, the only reason to play Bedwars is A, if you enjoy it, which I understand. I enjoy Bedwars. But mostly you play Bedwars to grind stats, right? And while it's all well and good, like if you're already good and you want to grind more stats. Whoa. What just happened? Right? Like, that's one thing. But I don't understand why a new player would invest their time into a game like Bedwars, which A, is dying, and B, there's nothing to make it more entertaining than another game that you could put less time in and get probably just as good at. So now I'm kind of going to talk about what could be some fixes for this, right? Again, some of these fixes are my ideas, some of them aren't. But yeah, these are just ideas. I don't know if any of these would work. I'm just throwing them out there. So first of all, for the Bedwars being too sweaty, I really do think that Hypixel needs to add matchmaking. Now, I know most of you probably hear the word matchmaking and your alarm bells are going off and now you don't want to finish the video. Just stick with me, hear this one out, okay? So right now, as Hypixel has it set up, there's matchmaking up until 50 stars, right? So people under 50 stars only play people under 50 stars. However, that is only if the queues are moving along, which with how few players there are, they normally don't. And a lot of those players are alts. So even in their matchmaking queues, the new players are still getting destroyed. I have zero solutions for how to deal with the amount of alts that they have. That's a problem I haven't really done any research in. But I think a way to make Bedwars less sweaty is to add matchmaking. So I think you just make skill brackets based on stars. I think stats would be a little bit too complicated. But based on stars, so for example, you have your 1 to 50, your 50 to like 150, 51 to 250. Hey. Whoa. Oh, nah. I have my potions. That was so sad. So yeah, you make those kind of skill brackets, right? Ranging from like 1 to 50, 51, 150, 151 to 250, and on from there. You guys know how to do math, hopefully. And I think that this would make lobbies more fun. Like, if I was playing people who are only 250 stars, I think that would make for some very entertaining games. I don't actually know where this guy went, so I'm going to go back here. I think it would make it easier for newer players if they're only playing newer players. Again, there are still the alts that would be a problem, but I think that's something that could be addressed. And in theory, if there are more new players, then there'd be less alts per lobby, in theory. Were you just bed trading? I don't know. Blue's all the way over there. What are you doing over there, my guy? Oh, you don't have a bed. Pink. Better not go for my bed. So yeah, that's what I think Hypixel needs to implement to fix the swayness of Bedwars is matchmaking. Now, kind of talking about the reasons why people don't like the matchmaking. Some of these I don't actually understand. I don't think they're logical, but we'll go over them anyways. First of all, a lot of people say that if we were to do matchmaking, it would make lobbies sweatier. And in theory, it would for like the highest level players. Like if you're a leaderboard player, yeah, your lobbies are going to get a lot sweatier. But I think on average, lobbies will actually get less sweaty. Because if you think about it, right? Like, I'm 250 stars, right? So say you place me in that bracket. I'm more than 250. I'm 282. Dang, I'm a sweat. Oh, I got him. Oh, GG. Bro, what the heck is Pink doing? Whew, get out of here. Anyways, as I was saying before, Mr. Pink rudely interrupted me. I do think it would make the queue sweaty for the sweatiest players. That's just how it would work. But I don't think it would make it sweatier for the mid-tier players, because now they're not playing the sweatiest players. And for the lower players, it's making games infinitely less sweaty for them. And also with the more sweaty players, I'm going to talk about this a little bit more later. Like, if you're on the leaderboard player, if you're a leaderboard player, right, I think you should be able to earn that leaderboard spot. Like, if you're on the leaderboard because you're playing a bunch of bots and, like, new players, then, like, good for you. You can left click. So, I think that is something that should be thought about, is that the leaderboard players who are upset about it are only upset because they might not be on the leaderboard anymore once they actually have to fight competent players. That's not all of them. There are definitely some people on the leaderboard that are really, really good and would probably be fine. But that's just what I think about that. Yeah. And another thing about that is, if matchmaking isn't implemented, right? If any of these ideas for fixes aren't implemented, then the Bed Wars queues are just going to get sweatier anyways. Because as the player base dwindles, it's only going to be sweaty players left. So the games are going to get sweaty anyways. So either way, games are going to get sweaty. I think that one way it saves the new players, and in the other way it doesn't. I think that's my thoughts on matchmaking. Yeah. For the hacker problem, again, I don't really know if there is a fix for this one. I think that's very much at a Hypixel watchdog level. That's not good. No, don't come at me. Don't come at me, man. See invis. I have prot 1, man. But I think that the hacker problem is kind of a never-ending battle between Watchdog and hack clients. Even if Hypixel wanted to devote a lot of resources to it, I don't think they could actually win. But I do think that it could be better than it is now. Like, especially... Whoa. Woo. Nice. Like, especially when players are confirmed to be cheating, like when someone releases video evidence or you get a confession. Like, I think that punishments need to be more severe. Like, for example, like a few months ago, I think I made a video about this, I kind of forget, but there's this guy that commented on one of my videos and he's like, "Oh, you're trash, I could easily take you." And I'm like, okay. So I checked out his channel, right? Because if he was lying, I was going to take him up on it. And literally every single video was either about a hack client or had a hack client in full view on the thumbnail. Okay? And this was all on Hypixel. And this guy had a decent amount of subs too. So like a bunch of people knew about this. And like, I don't think that it's okay that that can just go on and it doesn't get reported to Hypixel. Like, I feel like that's something that the community sees, reports it, and then he gets banned. That's just my thoughts on that. Last thing, for the problem of Bedwars becoming just like a grinding stats game, I think there are a few fixes you could do for this. I think all of them I see some problems with, but here are the ones that I think would be probably best. So, first of all, I think that PvP could be updated to 1.21. I think it would add new strategy and items, and at the same time, it would also fix the sweaty problem, because suddenly everyone's at an even playing level again, and actually the new people might be better. Bedwars could also start doing like Fortnite style seasons. I know that would be a lot of work for the Hypixel team. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute here. But I'm so confused. Okay, man. So 1.21 could be updated to that. I personally don't like that combat as much, but I think it would add some new stuff to Hypixel, and I think, or to Bedwars. And I think that's kind of what needs to happen at this point. Hypixel could also do like Fortnite style seasons for Bed Wars. That'd be a lot of work, and I don't think they'll do it. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And I know a lot of people say that like that's a horrible idea because Bed Wars isn't supposed to be Fortnite. And while I agree, I also think there's a reason that Bed Wars is at that many players playing, and that's about as many players as like Fortnite has in one game mode. I think there's a reason that Fortnite has kept that fan base. There are a bunch of other ideas for new content for Bed Wars. Definitely go check those out if you're interested. Vote for them. There are votes sometimes on the Hypixel forums and stuff. Yeah. So last thing, why I don't think any of this is going to happen. The main reason that I don't think Hypixel is going to revive Bed Wars is because it doesn't make them enough money, first of all. If you look at how much money Skyblock makes them versus how much money Bed Wars makes them, like logistically, it just doesn't make sense to put time and effort into improving Bed Wars when it's not making you that much money. Dang it. The second reason I don't think it's going to get revived is because even the community can't agree on what they want for Bed Wars. This was kind of what I talked about earlier, but right now most of the community who's like active in the forums, most of them are leaderboard players or former leaderboard players, and they're all really sweaty, and they all kind of have the same. Most of them, again, there are some pretty chill people there. But most of them have the attitude of, if Hypixel were to revive Bed Wars, then I would have to start trying. And personally, I think that's a really selfish perspective to have on the game. If they don't do anything, Bed Wars isn't going to exist soon. Like, there's not going to be anyone to play against. So, at that point, I don't know why you're arguing against it. Second of all, if you're truly a leaderboard player, then I think you can earn it. I said this earlier. But if you're a leaderboard player and you're a leaderboard player from just playing nons, then you're not really a leaderboard player. So, I think that is one of the problems. Yeah. And I know the situation has a lot more nuance than I understand about it, which is definitely fair. But I do think that if Bed Wars is going to get revived, something needs to be done about it soon. Because, player bases keep going down. How do I go? Oh, I found it. Okay, we're going to go back here. Because the player base keeps going down, and I don't think that there's going to be a huge new surge like there was during COVID anytime soon. So I think if Hypixel really cares about Bed Wars, I can talk, then they need to do something about it, and the community needs to agree on what they want Hypixel to do to Bed Wars. So yeah, those are just some of my thoughts on why I think Bed Wars is going to die out here. Definitely not me saying that I'm going to stop making Bed Wars videos and stuff, because I still enjoy Bed Wars even if no one else does. So, yep, that's pretty much it. And like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Comment down below what you think about what I said. It wasn't super formal as I wish it was, but bro, how do I make that jump? Oh, I found it. But still, let me know what you think. And yeah, see you in the next video.